Hi, witches and warlocks. Professor Cat, wonderful wizard of math, here to teach you one last way to use the percent equation. Now, let's say my dog has an unknown number of heads, but I can tell you that one of those heads has a cone on it, and that's 33% of my dog's total heads. You could use this equation to solve for the total number of heads my dog has. Let's write down our teach point. I can write the percent equation and isolate my variable, which today is going to be the size of one whole group, variable b, or the denominator, to solve for missing values. First example. 9 slices of watermelon were eaten, and that was 12% of the total pieces of fruit. I always want to start by just writing down the percent equation with nothing from the problem in it. So I always want to start by writing down whole times percent equals the part I have. After that, I want to find out which two of these do I have in the problem and which one is missing. So 9 slices of watermelon that were eaten, that's going to be the part that was eaten right here. So I know I have that and that it's equal to 9. And then that's 12%, so I also have the percent right here. 12%. So it means that what I'm trying to solve for today is the size of a whole group. What's the total number of pieces of fruit? So I'm going to have that an unknown variable, or b, times 12% is equal to 9. So I'm going to put the 9 tile here. That's what it has to equal to when I'm done with my equation. And then for 12%, remember that 12%, we can't really multiply something by 12%. We have to convert it into a decimal, and that's why this up here says percent as a decimal. So 12% as a decimal is 12 hundredths. So something times 12 hundredths is equal to 9. I could also rewrite this equation right here as 0.12 or 12 hundredths b, because that means 12 hundredths times b is equal to 9. Going back to my teach point, my goal is to isolate the variable b. Let's see how I can isolate b in this equation. So if I have b multiplied by 12 hundredths, then I have to divide by 12 hundredths in order to get b by itself, which means I also have to divide 9 by 12 hundredths. So in my calculator, I'm literally going to type in 9 divided by 0.12 equals, and I get that b is equal to 75. So that means that the total pieces of all the fruit eaten, if we put them all together, would be 75 pieces of fruit. Now let's look at our second example here. 40% of the ice cream eaten, or 12 servings, was blue raspberry. So you on your own are going to try this in a moment. You're going to remember that the first step should always be to just write down whole times percent equals part, or you could also write down denominator times percent equals numerator, whatever works best for your brain. Then you're going to fill in the two parts of this that you have, find which part is the variable, isolate that variable, and then you'll have your answer. Go ahead and pause this video, pick up your quills, and get started. Unpause. Welcome back. Let's check your answer. So we know in this example, the first piece of information it gives us is that we have 40% of the ice cream that was blue raspberry. So our percent today is going to be 40%. We know to write that as a decimal. It's 0.4. We also know that the blue raspberry was equal to 12 servings. Now that's not equal to the whole number of ice cream that was eaten. That's equal to the part that was eaten that's blue raspberry. So we're going to have the size of the whole group times 0.4 is equal to 12. Or if we take 12 of these blue raspberry ice cream cones, we know that this is equal to 40% of the total. So the total times 0.4 is going to equal 12. And again, this is our variable that we're trying to solve for. We want to find out what it is, so this is our variable b. Another way to write this would be 0.4b, which just means 4/10 times b, is equal to 12. Let's isolate our variable. I'm going to divide both sides of this equation by 0.4. And the total amount of ice cream eaten is going to be 12 divided by 0.4, which when I put that into my calculator is equal to 30. So in addition to these 12 blue raspberry ice cream cones, I would have to add 18 more ice creams of different varieties in order to get to my total, which is going to be 30 ice cream cones in all. When you're making up your own question, please solve it and check your answer first to make sure that it makes sense. We wouldn't want the answer to be that there were a total of 100.5 wizards at the party, because although you might make a lot of good arguments about how you could get half a wizard to a party, it doesn't really practically make sense. So write your own question, solve it to make sure that it makes sense, it's logical, post it in the comments down below, make sure you like this video, and then find another person's question and solve it. Write your answer. Thank you again for joining us. Have a magical day.